already know by nature innately بالفطرة, okay? But we have never actually sat down and thought about it. Okay, we do a lot of these things because we're used to, but we never actually sat down and thought, okay, why are we doing what we are doing? Why is it that it is this way, not any other way? Okay, so I'll start this lecture by asking a question or two questions. First, when we say we measure something, what do we mean by a measurement? What is measure? And although no one has their webcam on, I can pretty much tell that a lot of you have this look on your face where you're asking, is this a stupid question? What do you mean by what measure is? Measure is measure. قياس. ناخذ طول شيء, ناخذ وزن شيء. We measure how long something takes. Simple. صح? Turns out the answer is a little bit more involved, a little bit more complicated. Okay. I have put 3 photos on this slide, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Can you tell me what these photos are of? Not a rhetorical question. I actually require interaction with my students. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself.
Atom.
Okay. Atom for first one, I'm guessing.
The second one is something microscopic. The third one is something in the space, I guess.
Okay. All of these are valid answers, but the question I ask you is, how do we know? I can easily say the first photo is not an atom. It is actually a honeycomb. خلية نحل. الأشكال السداسية هذه خلية نحل. إيش رأيكم? Is it possible or not?
Possible.
Possible. الصورة الثانية, I can tell you it's not microscope. It is a drawing, a painting on a wall. أنا رسمت لوحة. Now, if any of you actually know me, you will know I'm really bad at drawing, so that's impossible, but humor me. Okay. Third one, it could be stars, it could be an entire galaxy, it could be إني أنا إنسان ما منظف اللينس مال الكاميرا مالي, this is just dust. صحيح? So there's something missing from these 3 photos. Okay, something that we are used to having on a regular basis, اللي هو بالعادة we don't even think about it. Okay, we are so used to having it al jahaz, we don't even think about it. But turns out when it's not really there, it is a bit of a bigger problem. Okay, so here's this guy. He's looking at a map, and it's a very nice map, very nicely drawn, and it even has a scale. Okay, it even has a scale that says this length is 1 cable. There's just one tiny problem. How big is a cable? Do any of you know the answer to this question? How big is a cable?
No.
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 So although this guy has a map with some sort of unit on it, مع some sort of, مقياس الخريطة, that مقياس is absolutely useless because we don't know what a cable is. We don't know how big a cable is. Is it a cable the same as, is it this cable? Is it, a 1 meter cable? Is it my iPhone charger cable? Is it this cable? No idea. So that's absolutely useless. Okay. And turns out, okay, we do these kind of things on a daily basis. So we want to measure how tall something is or how big something is. We use a measuring tape. We use centimeters, we use inches, we use meters. We want to measure how heavy something is. We use, well, if you're really old school, you would use this. Otherwise, you would use a digital, mass scale. But you would measure something in grams and kilograms. Or if you are in the US, you would measure it in pounds or stones. Okay, you want to measure how quick something is. You use a stopwatch or a watch or a clock. But what is it that we are really doing when we are using any of these items to do the measurement? Something that we do it in our head without thinking, but we have never thought about it, but we do it every time we take a measurement. First, we assign something. When we use, I cannot use this to measure length, can I? That wouldn't make sense. I cannot use a ruler to measure time. Again, that is useless. So we do two things, actually. First, we decide what is this, we decide what is the unit we are trying to actually, what is the quantity, not unit, what is the quantity we are trying to measure? Length, mass, time, okay? And the second thing we do is, the second thing we do is we decide what is the appropriate unit and what is the right thing to measure that quantity with. Now, I never think about it in this way. It's just in my head. طول جيب مسطرة. I never actually come to think, okay, I am trying to measure length and the appropriate thing to measure length is, no, I never do this, right? I bet none of you do. But we do it in our head. And we use units that we all know the meaning of, that we'll start talking about now. And then we'll discuss why are we even using these units. Okay. So if I ask you on the top of your head, what's the unit of length? What's the unit of length that everyone knows? Just the top of your head, the first thing that comes to your mind.
Meters.
Centimeters.
Meter.
Okay, so some people said meters, some said centimeters. What about mass?
Kilogram.
Kilogram.
Kilogram. Okay, a couple of people said gram. Most of you said kilogram. Time?
Second.
Second. We don't think about this, right? As soon as I asked you this question, immediately you answered it. You didn't even pause for a second to think about this, okay? And there's a very good reason for that. Turns out, a long time ago, okay, and I don't know whether this story is correct or if it's just an anecdotal story, but I like the story and I always tell it. They say that a king in England a long time ago, or in France, I'm not sure anymore, wanted a new bed. So he asked the carpenter to make him a new bed. The carpenter sent a guy. He made the king lie down. He started walking beside the king, qadam, 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 foot after foot, and went back to the carpenter and told him, okay, the bed needs to be 12 feet, literally the foot, okay, tall, and 5 feet wide. Excellent. The carpenter did it, sent the bed to the king, and the king was very, very upset because the bed was too short. Now that was confusing. They did the measurement, so what was the problem?
The fit's length is different.
Excellent. Turns out النجار عنده رجول صغيرة. Simple as that. So from that day onwards, the king put his foot on a piece of paper, traced it, and whenever someone had to talk about feet, they had to use that foot on the paper, the king's foot. And this is what we call a standard unit. Okay. Now, whether the story is true or not is a different, is a moot point. But the point is, we have just defined in the story what we call a unit of measurement. Okay, something that everyone agrees on, which you just said: meters, centimeters, kilograms, seconds, hours. So, in science, we use usually seconds for time. Now, I know you will say no, but we also use minutes. We also use hours. We use other stuff. We'll come back to that in a second. But the base unit, what we call the base unit, al-asas, is the second. And we have a definition for it in terms of a constant physical phenomenon, which is what? You have atoms. The cesium atoms can be made to vibrate very, very steadily. And these vibrations can be easily observed and counted. Now, of course, when I say easily, I don't mean at home. I mean in a very complicated lab setting, like the one in the photo. Okay, but in terms of science and physics, this is easy. Okay. Now, in 1967, that second was redefined, okay, as the time it takes for 192,631,770 seconds. Sorry, 9,192,631,770 vibrations to occur. Now, this might seem like a very, very complicated way and way too accurate. Why on earth would I need something that accurate? Okay. Actually, this is not more accurate than we need. Who here has never used a GPS? Has never sent a location on WhatsApp to someone? وينك أنا هنا تعال على هالlocation. Who has never done that?
No one, I think.
No
one.
Right? Okay, if I asked this question 10 years ago, maybe some people will say أنا إحنا ما سويناها. بس اليوم كلنا نسويها في اليوم الواحد 100 مرة. صحيح? Now, the GPS satellites rely on these exact precision atomic clocks to be able to give us this turn-by-turn direction. خصوصا لما نسوق, turn right, turn left. In 200 meters, please turn left. Okay? How does it know? It relies on these very, very accurate clocks. And even if these clocks are a tiny, tiny fraction of a second off, the overall effect would be usually, catastrophic. Sometimes tens, hundreds of meters. Okay, so the satellites we use in our phones for WhatsApp location, usually the best you can do, it will give you a location within 5 meters, 10 meters. إذا نحن برا واقفين مكان صافي ما داخل البيت, we start looking like this with our phone, it will give us a location down to about 5-6 meters. صح? This is because we are limited. Okay, the civilian use الاستخدام المدني for GPS is limited by the US military, because the US military هم اللي يتحكموا في الجي بي اس. طبعا الحين عندنا other systems, عندنا جلوناس اللي هو مال الاوروبيين, عندنا كايزر او ما ادري ايش اسمه, ايوه كايزر اعتقد اللي هو مال الروسيين, عندنا واحد ثاني مال الصينيين, but the idea is the same. Those actually can, for military uses, they can go down to a centimeter. That's how rockets and guided rockets and missiles are, guided using satellites, up to a centimeter. So this is precision that we actually need for day-to-day usage. Okay, what about the meter? Everyone knows the meter. Okay, now as far back as 1960, we could define it very accurately in terms of the wavelength of light. And it is defined as a number of wavelengths of orange light emitted by krypton atoms in a certain excitation. Then we redefined it in 1983, okay, the current definition, okay, to be very accurate. Now we have one thing that is very, very constant anywhere in the universe, the speed of light in vacuum, c. You know it from school as 3 times 10 to the power 8. Okay, it's actually 299,792,458. Okay, so تقريبا 3 times 10 to the 8. And the definition of the meter was, okay, since light travels at 299,792,458 meters in 1 second, 1 over that is what 1 meter is. So the definition is the same whether you are on Earth or on Mars or on Jupiter or on Pluto or on the Sun or anywhere else. Okay, unless general relativity comes in, that's a different question. What about the mass, the kilogram? Up until 2019, so just 2 years ago, this is very new, okay, we had something like this, okay, and it weighed 1 kilogram. Actually, no. We had something like this, which we called 1 kilogram, okay? So we defined the kilogram by the mass of that thing, and It was in a very secure storage lock in some vault in France, in a laboratory. And to get access to it, you needed multiple keys and passwords, and it was, you know, sealed from the air and all environment. It was like what we see in movies for really secret stuff. And there were 5 or 7 copies of this worldwide, and every year كانوا يجي يحطوهم في طيارة خاصة يجيبوهم نفس المكان، يقارنوا أنه الأوزان مالهم نفس الشيء يرجعوهم أماكنهم. وأي مكان في العالم 1 كيلوغرام يقارنوه بهذا الشيء. In 2019, we redefined this. Okay, because, well, this is not very physical. We redefined it in terms of the Planck constant and some other constant, which never change in value. Okay, these constants are physical constants of the universe. They are a fact of life. They don't change. Now, if you go on to study quantum mechanics, you will study about Planck's constant. It's really, really interesting. It's quantum mechanics is a fantastic area of physics. Tells you even about the tiniest things. Okay. So now the kilogram is measured using a Kibble balance, like that in the photo. Okay, when we place something in the Kibble balance, there's an electric current produced. That electric current has a certain proportion to Planck's constant. Things happen, and we get exactly what is the kilogram. And these 3 things are what we call, or the French call, because it's their system, Système International, SI unit. Okay. And these are the base units. The length is in meters, the mass is in kilograms, and the time is in seconds. Okay, note this kilo because I'm going to come back to it. There is something weird about the base unit for mass. So this is why everyone on Earth knows what a meter and a kilogram and a second is. We have defined it that way and made sure that everyone knows about it, so there is no confusion. Now, not all units are equal. Some are base. Like the kilograms, the meter, the second, they are the original measurements. They are easy to measure accurately to a high precision. What is accurate? What is precise? We will do this in the first lab. Okay. Then we have the derived unit. So some of you said centimeters. Some of you said grams. So that is simply our base unit, meter, multiplied by a number. And we'll do this in a second. Okay. We don't confuse these with fundamental units. Those that don't depend on anything else, we go back to that. That's out of the scope of this course. So we have the centimeter, gram, second. What's the relationship between meter and centimeter?
It's constant from 100 centimeter, I think.
Yep. So we divide by 100, a meter by 100, we get a centimeter. We divide a kilogram by 1,000, we get grams. Okay. So 100 centimeter, 1 meter divided by 100, we get a centimeter. 1 meter multiplied by 1,000, we get a kilometer. Same thing with kilograms and tons. Okay. What other base units we have? So we have these base units in the SI system. These are what we call base units. We have meter for length, second for time, kilogram for mass. Then we have the ampere, Kelvin, mole, candela for other things: current, temperature, amount of substance, luminance intensity. In this course, we are only interested in the first 3: meter, second, kilogram. We're not doing the rest. Okay. We have these prefixes, which makes it easier to convert from one unit to another derived unit. Because if I ask you how much you know, does your car weigh, and you tell me 32,000 kilograms, that's not very useful. 32 tons is much easier. So our base unit is actually here, and it's defined as 10 to the 0, which is equal to 1. So for example, meter. Then you multiply by 10 to the 1, 10 to the 2, 10 to the 3. They're all in powers of 10. 10 to the 3 is 1,000, which is kilo. 10 to the 6 is mega. And if you go down, 10 to the minus 3, so divide by 1,000, you get milli, centi, micro, nano, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, to go back to the idea that was in the miles. I'll come back to miles in a second. At the beginning, we showed these 3 photos. Now here's the length, the range that we deal with on a daily basis without thinking. 10 to the minus 15 meters is the diameter of a proton. 10 to the 26 is the meters is the distance to the edge of the entire observable universe. So unless we have a very strict definition and we have very strict units and we define them very clearly, and we have, this is why you will hear us over and over and over again in this course telling you, you need units with the answer. You just tell me 5, I don't know what 5 is. What is this 5? 5 meters, 5 kilometers, 5,000 megameters, very, very different. So going back, I'll tell you what these are. The first photo is actually not an atom and not a honeycomb. It is a graphene sheet where each one of these hexagons that you see is 6 carbon atoms. This is an SEM photograph, or micrograph actually, of a graphene sheet. Number 2 is not a painting, it is indeed a microscope thing. And number 3 is dust on a camera, although it looks very, very much like a Milky Way galaxy. Okay. Now, here's a question. If I have a quantity that is 50 grams centimeters per minute, and I want to change it to SI units. Oh, sorry, there was a question from Mubarak. What about miles? Miles is another different, is another system of measurement, mainly used by the Americans because they think they're too good to do the metric system like the rest of the world. 1 mile is about 1.6 kilometers, I think. It doesn't define, miles isn't anywhere on this table because it's not part of this system. It's an entirely different system. Okay, so it's like asking me, sorry?
Like pounds for weight?
Yes, pounds for weight, for example, is another imperial system. So the mile and the pound are both part of what we call the imperial measuring system instead. So the meter, the kilogram, the SI system, we call it the metric system. Everything is, multiplied by 10 or divided by 10. It's very easy. The other one is the imperial system. You have pounds, inches, miles, feet, and the conversion is not always nice. It's not just multiply or divide by the same number. It's more convoluted. Okay, so it's like asking, what is a shibr? It's a different unit. It's different. There's a constant to convert it from meter to shibr, but shibr is not part of the SI system. Okay. So if I have this 50 grams centimeters per minute, and I want to change it to SI unit, what should my units be?
From gram to kilogram,
Okay.
Kilogram by second.
Meters and seconds.
centimeter.
Excellent. So how do I convert this 50? What do I do to it?
First, transfer gram to kilogram.
Okay, how?
By divided by 1,000.
Okay.
I use the factor.
Okay. And then
After
what do
that,
I do?
transfer the centimeter to
Use
meter.
conversion factor.
Okay. وبعدين for minutes to seconds.
Multiply by 60.
By 60.
Excellent. And we end up with, I don't even know what the answer is because I made the question up right now. 0.03 kilograms meter per second. Okay. Now, is everyone okay with this conversion factor thingy? How do we convert?
Yes.
Okay. Aywa?
What is s to the power of minus 1?
S to the power of minus 1 means 1 over s per second.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So instead of writing something like this or like this, an easy way to write it, at least when you are dealing with many units, is this. So minus 1 is 1 over s, minus 2 is 1 over s squared, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Doctor, aren't we supposed to divide by 60 instead of multiplying by?
A very excellent question. So are we going from big to small or small to big?
It's from big to small.
Big to small, so we multiply.
We went from big, small in minutes, and we went from small to big in grams and centimeters.
So from grams to kilograms, we're going from small to big, so we divide. From minute to second, we go from big to small, so we multiply.
Yes, but the minutes are on the denominator.
Okay, so let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it in two different ways. Okay, first, let's take 50 grams centimeters per minute. By the way, do question my math, do question what I'm doing, because I am doing so many of these, and sometimes I do make mistakes. Okay, sometimes I make mistakes on purpose because I want to see if you're awake or asleep. Okay, so do question me when I do something wrong, and I might have done something wrong. Let's check. Okay, Maria, significant figures, we will cover them later. Yes, we usually do, but we cover them later in a bit. Okay, so let's do this. First, I will just convert it to kilograms meters. Okay, I will keep it in per minute. So I will do 50 times 1 over 1000 times 1 over 100. And I will end up with 50 divided by 1000 divided by 100. I will end up at 5 times 10 to the minus 4 kilograms meters per minute. Correct? So far, so good. We agree with what we did? Okay. Now, first of all, before any math, let's think of it. If I am getting some number per minute, okay, if I am getting some number per minute, per second, am I going to get a bigger number or a smaller number?
Bigger.
Bigger.
Bigger?
Bigger.
Smaller.
Bigger.
أنا أحصل 100 ريال في الدقيقة. إذا أنا أحصل 60 ريال. كم ريال بحصل في الثانية؟
Same number. It's the same.
It's the same?
Yeah.
إذا أنا أحصل 60 ريال في الدقيقة. في الثانية الواحدة كم ريال أحصل؟ 60؟
ريال واحد.
ريال.
إيه، لما نضرب الأمثال بالفلوس كل حد يجاوب صح. إنزين. So I made a mistake here. إنزين. I made a mistake here. صح؟ إنزين. I get less. So I need to actually divide by 60. You are absolutely correct, which means this is wrong. And what it should be is 50 divided by 1000, divided by 100, divided by 60. It should be 8.3 times 10 to the power minus 6. Thank you to the students who were awake and spotted my mistake. Oops. Okay. Now there's a way that I use to avoid this kind of mistake. Okay, and to avoid that kind of confusion. ولا يهمك المهند، راح تكون واجد امثله فلوس بتجي، ودائما بتلاقوني الامثله اني انا حصل فلوس، ها، فخشخش جيوبكم شويه. انزين. Our unit was gram centimeter per minute. I would rewrite it as gram centimeter per minute. وبعدين أبدأ التحويل. جرام إلى كيلوغرام تقسيم 1000، سنتيمتر إلى متر تقسيم 100، تحت minute إلى سكند ضرب 60. صحيح؟ بعدين أبسط، هذا تحت هذا تحت هذا تحت، كله بيصير لي 1000 في 100 في 60. تمام؟ Everyone okay with this?
Yes.
Okay. So now we will start a small experiment. إذا تتذكروا في on Monday's lecture, in the introductory lecture, I spoke to you about Bloom's hierarchy. Well, I told you that the best way to learn is not to hear or to listen, but to do.
To teach someone.
And the best way was to teach someone. Okay, so we are going to use that in our course practically. In every lecture, okay, we will have things that are called PIQs, like this. Okay, and what these are checkpoints, okay, where you check if you have understood what I have said, where I check if what I have just said, did I explain it well or not too well? Okay, and to then reflect on it, and if you haven't understood it or if I haven't explained it well, we revisit it. Now, because there is, I'll do it one thing at a time. Okay, so first thing first, let's try something out. I will try. You can all still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what I will do is I will try something out called breakout rooms. Okay, so I will do something, and what it should do, now this is the first time I'm trying this out, so نحن كلنا جالسين نجرب مع بعض. Okay, I'm not sure 100%. إنزين. What it should do is it should split you into groups of 3 people each and put you in a separate chat. Okay, in a separate, not typing chat, in a separate call, in a separate room for a certain amount of time where you can speak with each other, okay, and then bring you back to this room. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's see if it works. Let's see, there are 4 people in each room at the moment. I want 3 people per room. Excellent. I will set a timer of 1 minute now, just to be safe, in case it doesn't, in case I cannot cancel it, to try it out. Yes, Al-Hassan? You want to say something?
No.
Okay. Let's try. I have 4 students whom it says it cannot assign, but let's see why. Okay, let's try. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens, and then you can tell me. Okay, people who are still here, are you not seeing anything? Are you not getting a prompt? What is going on? So, Ariyaf, Fatima, Salim, Tahani.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So, Salim, are you logged in with your SQU account or another account?
SQU account.
Okay, I don't know what the problem is. I will check. I will check that later on.
Doctor, because we are using our phone, not laptop.
Let's see. We'll check. Okay, if you are using your phone, the people who did not get a call, update your app to the latest version, and then we can try again. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, later. Not now. Sorry, Amjad?
I use mobile and it's work correctly.
Okay, so maybe they have not updated it to the
Yeah,
latest
me
app.
too.
Okay, so can you tell me what happened when I clicked on start breakout room?
Yeah, it's
We moved
to
We
we
go
got
into the private
as you
room.
can join.
Okay, and you could hear each other and talk with each other for some time?
Yes.
Okay, and then did it ask you if you want to move, or did you have to click on accept, or did it automatically
You had
take
to
You have to accept it.
Okay, at the end of the time, it automatically brought you back, or you had to accept to
Yes,
come
we
back?
have timer.
Yes,
doctor.
yes.
Timer we have.
Okay, all right.
But we can re-going anytime.
or you can just
Okay.
return.
Okay, all right. So this is really, really good. This is really good, actually. I'm really happy to hear that. Okay, so that was the first trial. The second trial we're going to do, and I'll explain to you what are we doing in a bit. Can you all go to the Moodle page, please? If you're on your mobile, you can go via the app, and you will see under week 1, there is something called LEC2 PIQs. So click on that. I'll give you a minute for everyone to open it.
It says quiz not running at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't started it yet. I'm just waiting for everyone to come.
Mister, what we are looking for?
PIQ, LEC2 PIQ something. This one. Under week 1.
Yes, we found it.
Okay, is everyone here? كل حد دخل؟ Anyone باقي حد باقي؟
Wait, Mister.
Okay. Okay. So I know it says quiz, but this is not a quiz. This is not an examination. This is not a test. This is what this PIQ thing that I was telling you about, okay? This is the interactive part where we get to test our understanding, okay? Now, those of you who attended Monday's lecture will remember I said there are 2% on PIQs. I would repeat what I said on Monday. Do not worry about those marks because you have, give or take 3-4 questions per lecture times 30 lecture, over 100 to 150 questions, all of that for 2 marks only. So it's almost pretty much guaranteed, okay? Do not worry about do not worry about losing marks or answering wrong, okay? It is it's about learning. Okay, that's very, very important. I'm sorry, give me a second. Sorry about that. Okay, someone says مقطع يفتح. What is the issue? What is the thing that you're getting? What is the error you're getting?
Doctor, it's still quiz not running at the moment.
Aywa, we have not started yet, so I'm still explaining it to you. We'll start running it in a bit. Okay. Okay. So what happens here? First thing first, we will try a dummy thing. I will do test run 2. Now I am clicking on start session, and now I will click on start quiz. Okay. Once I click on start quiz, it will send you the question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. You should now see this question. It will. There is no actual text. It will just say PIQ1 and select an answer A, B, C, D. That's it. Okay, and you will have 2 minutes, 120 seconds to answer. So click on anyone. Okay, this is just a test. Is it working? Is it not working? Okay, good. You can see on my screen that it is your. It is being updated.
Mr. What is the question?
There is no question. This is test only. So just click on anything. I want to see if I'm logging your answers or not. ما في سؤال. هو فاضي بس مكتوب عليه انه PIQ1 ABCD بس كذاك. Okay. We have 111 students in this course so far. 99 of them have logged in. 100 of them have logged in. 25 still have not responded. Okay, keep going. Excellent. 30 seconds left. Okay, so 103 students logged in. Time is up. 5 of you have not answered. Is there a reason? Did you time out? Are you having problems? Did you just start late? Connection issues? Those who have not responded.
Do we have to hit save, Doctor?
No. As soon as you click it, it automatically submits.
Oh, okay.
I think.
So what if we want to change the answer?
I don't think that works. So as soon as you click on it, it automatically sends it.
No, Doctor, we have to click on save.
Yeah, there's button save and submit.
Okay, so maybe you do have to click on save.
Here, I'll check and save.
Okay, check and save. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so excellent. This worked with everyone. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm guessing everyone. This worked for everyone, yeah. Those on mobile phones, on tablets, on computers. No one has a problem.
Yes.
Yes, mister.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, excellent, perfect. So here's how it's going to work. In the middle of the lectures, okay, we will have, it's very boring for me to talk for an hour and a half. You will get bored, I will get bored. We want to have an interactive session. We want to exercise what the research says, that teaching is the best way to learn. Discussions are very important. So what's going to happen is we are going to have a question like this. PIQ1. The density rho is defined as the mass divided by volume. This is an example question, okay? What is the SI unit of density? So I will have this question on the screen, okay? And, where'd it go? Okay, so I'll have this question on the screen, and what I will do is, okay, I will tell you, okay, we are going to do this now. I will put this here. Okay, and okay, when I tell you, we'll start the session, and you will all have 2 minutes to answer this question. Okay, if we see the majority of students have answered it okay, it means there's understanding. If the level of understanding isn't as high as we want it to be, what we will do is we will break into breakout rooms, okay, where you are bound by nature, okay, to have disagreements with some of your group members. Ahmed ممكن يقول جواب A, Muhammad يقول C, Khalid يقول D. You have to explain to each other, okay? You have to discuss among yourselves, agree on an answer, and then what we will do is we will do another round, and you have to submit the answer which you have agreed on. Only those PIQs where it is after a discussion like this, after breakout rooms, those will be the only ones who will be, you know, counted toward that 2-mark thingy. Okay, so very, very tiny marks. It's not about getting it right all the time. It's about the discussion. It's about the learning. Okay, this is a very, very important point. Okay, ready to try the first question? Now, again, you will notice, because we cannot put all the questions there, it will take us forever. Okay, في المودل, it will simply say PIQ A, B, C, D. The actual question and options are on this slide, not in the Moodle. This will be the same for all questions. Okay, ready? Let's try doing PIQ1. And you have 2 minutes. Go. No, it doesn't show. It just shows you A, B, C, D. So it will not show you A is GS minus 2. It will just show you A. If you believe the answer is GS minus 2, you put A.
Doctor,
أيوة.
why we cannot click and save after we choose the answer?
Maybe the 2 minutes are done. You should be able to know. There's still time. You should be able to.
No. Repeat again.
Click on it again.
Oh, now it's okay.
Okay. So 103, only 2 people did not manage to submit. And I can see here in the results that most students chose C. Okay, which is indeed the correct answer. So most students have understood this concept. We don't need to go to the breakout rooms. Okay. Now what we'll do is we will do it very, very quickly here. Okay, because most of you got it. Density is defined as mass divided by volume. The unit of mass is kilogram. The SI unit of volume is cubic meters. So my answer is kilograms per cubic meters. Okay. Okay. Now let's do another one. Okay, so I'll have to close the session. It's not the fastest of procedures, but at least allows us some interaction. Okay. PIQ2, section 30. Okay. Okay, Sami, it didn't open. What was? Did you have an error? Was there an issue? Did it tell you there was a problem? Sami? Are you unable to open Moodle completely, or are you able to open but not answer in time? What is the issue? Okay, so the page takes a long time for you to load. Okay, so what we can do is we can try to increase the time from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, for example, to allow for more time for submissions. Okay. Let me see how to do that. Default question time. Let's see, can I do 2.5 minutes to start with? Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see, I've just set it to 2.5. Let's see if that makes any difference. Okay, ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay. And here we go. A physical quantity is given as 180 grams kilometers per hour, converted into SI units. Take your time. You have 2.5 minutes.
Doctor, can we see the options?
Oh, sorry. Here you go. So this actually tells me that I need 2 screens. And that also tells me that I need to buy an extension cord. I think. Yep, I most definitely need to buy an extension cord.
Doctor,
So the student, Aywa?
you can open 2 windows at one time.
Yes, but then it will appear as very small for you. Okay, so this was a calculation question. I'm guessing most of you did not have time to finish answering. Most of you who did answer got it correctly. The correct answer is A indeed. Those of you who are who have a weak connection, if your connection is so weak that you are unable to open, you know, a simple Moodle poll and answer it, you have to contact the assistant dean this week and tell him about your circumstances. Because if you are unable to open something as simple as a poll because your connection is really, really weak, you will have problems in quizzes and in tests. And you should not be disadvantaged because of that. So make sure you speak to the assistant dean, then the college might make, you know, some special provision for you to accommodate that factor. Okay, please, please, please do not wait, okay, until after quizzes or after tests to complain that my connection was bad. There's nothing we can do at that time. Yes, Mubarak, you want to say something?
Yes, doctor. When I joined the thing, it said you are previewing the previous question. Just wait, and it's never showed up.
Okay, so this might mean that we need to close the session earlier, or you need to refresh the page.
Yeah, I refreshed it many times, but nothing changed.
Okay, so we will try it again next time.
Okay.
Yes?
The right answer A is incorrect, and you say the answer is A.
Sorry, say that again.
They write the answer A is incorrect.
Yes. This is because I am doing this with a test question. So good point. You raised a very good point. The correct answer is A, but it will tell you it is incorrect. It will tell you that the correct answer is C. Okay. The reason for that is I am using a dummy question. I have not actually programmed it properly. This is the first time I'm actually trying this today. So I'm literally testing the system with you. Okay, so I've only made one dummy question. I have randomly put the correct answer as C. I did not actually program it properly. So inshallah, from the next lecture, I will program it, you know, now that I know the system actually works and that we can actually use it. From the next lecture, what I can do is I can properly program it to show what is correct, what is not, etc.
Mr.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you going to take midterms online or face-to-face?
Online or what? Sorry?
Face-to-face.
Online. Everything is online. As per the as per the guidelines from the من اللجنة العليا, everything is online.
Okay.
Nothing is face to face. Okay, so 180 grams, kilograms per hour. We need to convert it. Grams becomes kilograms, kilometers become meter, hours become second. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So 180 grams to kilograms, we divide by 1,000. Kilometers to meters, we multiply by 1,000. Per hour to per second, we
divide by
1,060. Okay, and the correct answer turns out to be 0.05 kilograms meters per second. Okay, many people chose C. What you did is you converted the grams. Sorry, you converted the kilometers, but you forgot to convert the grams and the hours. Okay, so careful with that. All right. Do we have more time? Yes. Okay. Let's speak about dimensions. Now, whenever I say dimensions, most of you immediately start thinking 2D, 3D, like movies. Yeah? But this time, we're not talking about these dimensions. Okay? We are talking about a different type of dimensions. Now, whenever we start thinking about length or mass or time, okay, when we say something is in meters, what we're saying is we are measuring length. So the dimension of length. Mass, the dimension of mass. Kilogram is the dimension of mass. Kilogram is the unit. The quantity is mass, or the dimension is mass. Okay, so I am going to, so anything, any quantity whatsoever can be described using these dimensions. L, M, T, I, Phi, and J, each one of them to a power. Let's do examples. We have something that is unitless. It does not have any units. What are the indices A to G? Let's do a simpler example. I have something like length. Okay? I have something as length. What is the unit?
Meters.
Meters.
Meters. And what is the dimension of it?
Capital L.
Length.
Capital L. Length. Since it's meter, it means L to the power 1. Correct? What about area? If I have area, my unit is going to be meter square, صح?
Yeah.
So its dimension is going to be L square. صح?
A square.
A square is the area for A, but what is its dimension? The dimension, it's still in length, right? Meter times meter. Meter square.
Yes.
So it's length to the power 2. It has twice length. Correct? If I go for volume, meter cube, I will get L cube. Let's do another one. قبل شوية سوينا density. We said it's kilograms per meter cube, صح? What is its dimension?
M per L cube.
M capital
Excellent.
divide by
L cube.
Excellent. ml to the minus 3. So it means for this, for example, for this one, this is 0, F is 0, E is 0, D is 0, C is 0, A is minus 3, and B is 1. صح? For density?
Yes.
Okay. And we can do this for any quantity whatsoever. Okay. Now, in this course, we are not doing current, thermodynamic, temperature, all of these, but we are doing length, mass, and time. And it is actually a key test of whether an equation is what we call consistent or not. Let me give you an example. Let's look at an equation. You know this from high school. Velocity equals distance over time. صح?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this equation consistent or not, dimensionally speaking? Let's check. The unit of velocity is meters per second. صحيح?
Yes.
Distance is meter and time is per second. So it is equal. The unit on the left is equal to the unit on the right. صحيح?
Yes.
So this is, we're looking at it in terms of units, but we can go on an even more fundamental level and look at it in terms of dimensions. What if I tell you this? Kilometers per hour, meters per second. Is this consistent or not? Dimensionally, not unit-wise. Is this equation still correct? In terms of units?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes, no, maybe. Let's take a look. In terms of dimensions, أيوة.
Doctor,
أيوة, tell me.
in the first question, you said that mass over volume is kilogram under m over 3. So
أيوة.
now it's d over t. Why?
This is not volume. This is velocity, speed.
Small v.
Small v, not capital V. Velocity. Or actually, let me not even call it velocity. I will call it speed. Okay. All right. So let's look at it in terms of dimensions. Kilometers, and is which dimension?
L capital.
L capital. Length. Per hour?
Time.
T.
Time. T capital.
T to the minus 1.
T capital.
وهذا الصوب نفس الشيء. M is an L, S and T to the minus 1 لأنه تحت صحيح? So dimensionally, the equation is correct. But when we need to substitute in the numbers, we need to make sure أنه they're all in the same units. Otherwise, تصير مصيبة سوداء. صحيح?
Hi.
Okay. Let's try another example. Okay. V equals S T squared, and I will give you the units, okay, because we have not done these equations yet. Okay. V is in meters per second. This is in meters. And T is in second square. Is this equation dimensionally consistent?
No.
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 No. Because, oops, what did I do? No. Go back. Okay. No, because this velocity is in L T to the minus 1, while this is L T to the 2. So they are not the same. صحيح?
Yes.
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 Okay, so I have an equation here, an PIQ here, but we're running out of time, and Let's see. Let's do this one last thing and then we can stop. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this in breakout rooms. Now I'll try something for the next lecture. I will try to program the breakout rooms to separate the boys from the girls somehow. Okay, but I'm still trying to figure out this system. Okay, now this is a bit of a longer question, so let's give it a good 4 minutes, and then we can end the lecture. Okay, ready? Let's do this in a discussion. Nothing is marked this today. Okay. You don't have to worry about the marking. Okay. I'll give you 4 minutes. So the timeout thingy, the breakout thingy will be 4 minutes, and the question time will also be 4 minutes. Ready?
Doctor.
Aywa.
How we see the question?
I will put it on the screen now.
Okay.
Okay. Don't worry. I just want to see if this level of question is okay or not. Aywa.
We have in here in phones.
We can't see
as the main group is closed.
What do you mean by main group is closed?
Yeah, we can't see the presentation.
In all device, Doctor, not only the iPhone. Also on the laptop. When going to the break room, the main light is closed. Yes.
We leave this room.
Oh, okay.
Doctor, I think there is a way you can put the questions in the all rooms.
Okay.
I don't know.
I need to figure out a way to put the question in all rooms, or to put the question in Moodle itself.
Or an email. Doctor, put the choice with the question.
I can put the choice with the question in Moodle itself. That might be easier. That might be easier. Okay. In that case, we will not do this now. I will need to figure out a way, because there's no point putting you into the breakout rooms if I am unable to, if you can't see the questions. So it's 1:21. Let's call this a day. Okay, let's end the lecture here. I will see you, inshallah, on Monday, and hopefully we will have these kinks sorted out so we can do it better. Now, the lecture is